I am live. Thanks for coming back. Anyone who does come back, it is 1:53 on Wednesday, October 30th, and I just wanted to come on here and let you know you don't get anything for voting for Democrats and Republicans. You are wasting your vote. This is something that is said to third-party voters, is that a vote for somebody like Joe Stein, the most visible of the peace candidates that are on most people's ballots, enough ballots to actually win the election, that you are wasting your vote if you vote for Joe Stein. You're going to get, oftentimes it's the liberals arguing that, oh, you're going to get Trump elected. Well, you guys who vote for Republicans and Democrats have been wasting your votes your entire voting life. I pointed out in one of my other videos, and I will continue to repeat about the Princeton study that shows that what the electorate wants, whether it be Medicare for all, more sick days, or a higher minimum wage. What we desire, what we think is reasonable for our government to legislate for the betterment of the entire society, does not matter. Does not make them move. Does not make them legislate a certain way. They're not going to do what we desire. Less than 1% of how the electorate feels is that's the results. Probably 1% of the time we want something and they'll actually put it into legislation and get it done. But if you are in the top 10% of earners, people who can contribute to their campaigns and majorly fund their campaigns through these political action committees, the PACs, then you got a greater than 50% chance that they're going to bend to your will and do the things that you want them to do. So you've been wasting your vote. Democratic voters, Republican voters, you've been wasting your vote your entire life. Wasted vote. You don't get a win bonus if Kamala gets elected or if Donald gets elected. Liberals and conservatives, Democratic and Republican voters, you don't get anything for it. I voted for the winner in an election one time. It reminds me of a Chris Rock joke that he told about the when OJ was got found not guilty. He said every day he says his line was what, black people too happy, white people too mad. And he said white people walking around talking about this is BS, right? And black people talking about we won. And I feel the same way about voting for the winner of the election. As Chris Rock said he felt about OJ being found not guilty. He said every day I look in the mail for my OJ prize and it's just not there, right? I look in the mail for my Biden prize because that was the only time I've ever voted for a winner in an election. And there's nothing there. I got higher prices at the grocery store, higher gas prices. There was a higher rent. Wars abroad, seeing foreign governments being sent billions of dollars, while my fellow countrymen get austerity in the forms of payments for disaster relief. So that's what I got for my vote for them. I got them breaking a union strike. All these things. That's what I got. And it wasn't better. Better better than Biden. Obviously, the Trump voters feel very vindicated. But at the end of the day, if the person you're voting for does not reflect your values, if the things that they're doing are contrary to your fellow man, it's like, what do you get for that? But kind of remorse. It's like, man, I voted for this guy. Like, I've got to live with that for the rest of my life. As an adult voting life, I got to own the fact that, hey, I voted. I had such Trump derangement syndrome that I voted for Joe Biden, Genocide Joe. I voted for that guy. You know, I got fooled into voting for that guy, right? But you know, after seeing all the dirty tricks that Democrats play, that you know, I could never mandate or vote for that party. I would never be so afraid of have a fear of the other that you could convince me to vote for Democrats. These are the dirty Democrats. That's what I'm going to always remember them as. These are the gaslighting Democrats. And in another video, I'll detail more of their dirty schemes, but I think that they're horrid people, you know. And every accusation of Republican voters is a confession. Not to say that they might not be true about Republican voters or Republicans, but all those accusations that the talking heads and many of the staunchest liberals will make about conservatives and Republicans is true of them. I was just on I was just on Twitter and I was trolling one of these liberals and they posted something about somebody asked a question, what's a sign of low IQ? And the person retweeted it and said Latino Trump voters. And I replied to them. I said, 100%. I was like, only thing that is equivalent is, Latino, Black, and other voters who are going to vote for Harris. and so in my mentions, this liberal flies in my mentions, and he says, go get a job, Coon. A liberal said that, white liberal, go get a job, Coon, right? Because now I'm a coon because I'm talking against his favorite genocidal girl boss. A white liberal called a black man a coon and told him to go get a job because I don't agree with his genocidal girl boss. and you absolutely must. As Barack Obama, I got to say, you brothers have been letting her down, letting Kamala down. There's no enthusiasm. No, it's not because she's the most talentless, empty suit that we've ever laid eyes on. We're letting her down just because she's a woman, and she's a woman of color. And why would you let her down? She looks like your mom. She could be your mom. No, my mom is actually black. Kamala is something else. No, my mom is ADOS black. Kamala ain't that, right? Kamala is I'm black when it's convenient for me black. So yeah, that's another story. And I know I probably touch many nerves and feel it all. Feel it all. I don't pile around with liberals anymore. You guys are our enemies. You are the people that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King told us about, right? The white moderate, right? You are a fox, whereas the Republican is a wolf. And so I don't pile around with you anymore. I know who you are. You are not my friend. You are not my ally. You are an enemy.